Hello, I am Marilyn van Skalpijk and this is my rebuttal on the debate that a corporation should not employ workers in foreign countries under the same conditions as American workers. My opponent used the example of the factory fire in Jakarta, Indonesia as case in point of what labor standards are like in most countries outside of America. This is by all means not the case, and here is why. The example of the Jakarta incident and loss of life was unquestionably one of the worst days in the history of industrialization. It is, however, important to see this in the bigger picture. Jakarta in Indonesia is at the very last place on the Safe Cities Index that is compiled by the Economist's Intelligence Unit. This illustrates that Jakarta is not a good representation of what good living conditions are per se. It would be more representative to review the conditions under which laborers in the rising economic power blocks work, and if there have been improvements in self-initiated standards of labor conditions. Steve Redman, a British Safety Council auditor in India, reported that there are indications that some of India's larger companies, including multinational giants such as Tata, are driving wider health and safety improvements through their own actions. Steve adds, "A lot of the larger companies are at the forefront of corporate social responsibility and have a strategy to continuously improve health and safety set against strong objectives and targets. Some are looking beyond legislative compliance and are trying to drive the health and safety agenda themselves. This appears to be a major driver rather than simply initiatives from the central or state governments." Khalid Nadvi's research also indicates that many Indian firms are influenced by local social norms that not only affect their strategies of internationalization, but also raise questions about how they engage with and influence debates on labor standards and social responsible business. This is further accentuated by the recent legal stipulation in the Companies Act of 2013, which requires all firms with revenues of over 20 billion Indian rupees or net profits in the excess of 50 million Indian rupees to allocate 2% of their profits to corporate social responsibility related activities. China is also assuming an increasingly self-assured role in the global governance arena. In terms of labor standards, the Chinese government has introduced a slew of new labor regulations, including the 2008 labor contract law and minimum wage rules. Brazil is known for enhancing its labor and environmental regulatory regime and for its lead role in defining a new generation of global social standards through the ISO 26000. These are good indicators that the larger global corporations outside of America are setting their own globally accepted standards and is one of the many reasons why American labor standards should not be applied in other countries. Thank you.